we do have a bit of news to get to, so let's jump right in. As Pete Dunne once again furthered the rumors that Pete Dunne will be, or Butch, furthered the rumors that he may be revolving back to Pete Dunne, as he tweeted on, or he sent out, I believe it was a tweet on Twitter. Tweet on Twitter, that's kind of redundant. He sent out a tweet from the time when he was NXT UK champion, and all it said was, remember. And I think everyone who fondly remembers the Black and Gold brand also remembers Pete Dunne as NXT UK champion and the force that he was when he was down in NXT. The fact of the matter is, Pete Dunne, I know over the last couple of weeks, I have echoed the sentiment, especially as far as Chad Gable and Otis and splitting up the Street Profits, that it does seem like I am highly against breaking up tag teams. But I also do agree that there comes a point where tag teams some tag teams hit their shelf life, and that they need to go in a different direction to best benefit those involved. And I think that we may have hit that point with Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne, where they need to go in a different direction, because it is pretty obvious at this point Sheamus may have gone in a different direction away from his fellow Brawling Brutes. So maybe, just maybe, going in a different direction for Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne would not be the worst idea either, especially considering the fact that right after WrestleMania, the WWE draft will be taking place soon after, so it is a question of what to expect with the draft. And honestly, will they go the route of doing a draft lottery like they have not done in a very long time? It would be a little difficult to do a draft lottery considering the fact that Adam Pearce is the only management executive, so I don't know if they would do that with that, or would they have just representatives for Raw and SmackDown. And if it was me, I would have a representative for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, because this is something that I've said over the last couple of years, that WWE should look to, during the draft, if they're going to call people up from NXT, send people down from the main roster. It's simple as that. Just, if you're going to pull people up, send people down. Why not? Why not? Oh, well, but you got to free up space so new people can get the opportunity. I'm saying that if you bring up 6 people, let's say, or 5 people, let's say, sending down one person is not going to inhibit the roster, and if anything, it would help. I mean, yes, fine. Oh, well, they just sent down Jinder Mahal, so Jinder Mahal, somebody, blah, 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 blah. But I'm saying, well, I mean, actually, it is a fair point. I don't know who they would send down. It is probably a fair point. I don't really know who they would send down. I mean, my go-to is usually Dolph Ziggler, but at this point, would Dolph Ziggler even benefit from being down in NXT? My go-to is usually Dolph Ziggler, but I mean, honestly, maybe Killer Cross, Karrion Kross. Would Karrion Kross benefit from being down in NXT? I don't know. But the WWE draft is set for right after WrestleMania, and something else that is set for right after WrestleMania is, I mean, I love the fact that WWE has been honest about how bad of an idea or short-sighted of an idea it was to unify the titles last year at WrestleMania. And the fact of the matter is that it has been called now by various news outlets, including Fightful and WrestleVotes, as the last mistake made by Vince McMahon. And that basically it is definite at this point that by SummerSlam this year, not only is WWE still rumored to be sold, but also the titles are rumored to be split by SummerSlam. There is a possibility that maybe the titles could be split in the draft. Honestly, it also depends on if they go the route of emphasizing a specific title in the title match at WrestleMania, could they possibly go the route of having one title be on the line and not the other title? I mean, I understand the logic and how short-sighted that would be. Because also the main thing for WWE, in my opinion, should be getting Roman Reigns away from television for a little while. Because everybody is expecting that to be the case at WrestleMania, that if Roman Reigns loses, or when Roman Reigns loses, that after WrestleMania he will be gone for the foreseeable future. But the fact of the matter is, what happens if, hypothetically, they emphasize that the match is for the undisputed Universal Championship, and that's their way of subtly hinting that it's just for the Universal title, and then that would vacate the World title, the WWE Championship, after WrestleMania. Because according to a known belt designer, Triple H is said to be not a fan of the Universal Championship, and there have been rumors that the big gold belt could be making a return. But the one reason why the big gold belt would not be making a return is because of the fact that it does not fit the WWE's branding, as WWE has gone the route of specifically doing branding having to do with the the WWE title logo, where every title looks the same. Because of the branding of it, everybody knows that Triple H is a fan of old school wrestling and a big fan of the big gold belt because of his, how do you put it? Because of his mentors, his idols in the past winning the title, including Harley Race, Ric Flair, etc. I mean, technically Harley Race never won the big gold belt, but Harley Race won the 10 pounds of gold. And, that is WWE's answer to the 10 pounds of gold, because it is the legacy of the NWA in the big gold belt. I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do firmly believe that between now and SummerSlam, we will be back to having 2 world titles, and it will in fact benefit talent like Bobby Lashley. It will in fact benefit talent like Seth Rollins, Karrion Kross, etc., because it will give them the opportunity. Hell, it will benefit Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because it would give them the opportunity to be in the world title picture and challenge for the world championship, because there would be more of an opportunity for people to challenge for the world title, as there would be 2 world championships. As there would be 2 world championships then, so it would give a lot more people the opportunity to challenge for the world title. Speaking of WWE Creative and what's going to happen next, Nick Manfredini, who has been a WWE writer for the better part of the last 12 years. Nick spent time with WWE as he spent time building himself up and building up his credibility within the company over the last couple of years, as he was one of the most reliable writers in the company since he started in 2010, and he walked away from the company. He left the company earlier this year. One of the main things that Nick Manfredini is known for in WWE is being the man behind the creation of the Firefly Funhouse, and a lot has been made about Manfredini leaving the company, because that some people are chalking that up to the reason why Bray Wyatt is on hiatus now from WWE, and it's a question of, well, what happens next? What happens next with Manfredini and Bray Wyatt? We don't know, but Manfredini in the stories since Manfredini left the company, there has been reports of a lot of people backstage having nothing but good things to say about Manfredini, including Bray Wyatt, where he heaps praise on Manfredini for being one of the best WWE had. I don't know if it was just time for him to go after, he'd been there for 13 years almost, so sometimes people just are ready to leave. We saw that with Brian Gerwitz. But we got more news to get to, and before we go, I just want to say that Mick Foley did not specify what he would be doing, but he did throw rumors that he could not only be a part of WrestleMania weekend, but also he will be appearing on SmackDown next week. We don't know what type of form, but I would have to figure that it is very possible that Mick Foley appearing on SmackDown next week could have something to do with Mick introducing the next member of the WWE Hall of Fame. With that being said, I have more news to get to in the next video, and it also includes the next member of the WWE Hall of Fame, and in my opinion, it is by far one of the most deserving announcements in decades for the WWE Hall of Fame, but we will get to that in the next news video, so see you then.